Hello everybody. Today I'm gonna show you how to do the form I-130, petition for alien relative. And this section right here is gonna be only for the USCIS office only, not for us. We're gonna start from this section down. Okay, right here in part 1, number 1, I am filing this petition for my, and we have to select one. Who are you filing this petition for? In this case, I'm filing for my husband. If you are filing for your husband, wife, you mark right there. Or if you are filing for your parent, you mark right here. Or your brother or sister, you mark right here. Or for your child, you mark right here. But in this form, I'm filing for my husband. Number 2, if you are filing this petition for your child or parent, select the box that describes your relationship, only one box. Okay? So number 1, and here says child was born to parents who were married to each other at the time of each child's birth. If that's the case, you're gonna mark right here. Right here says stepchild, step parent. If that's the case, you mark right here. This other option, choice, child was born to parents who were not married to each other at the time of that child's birth. If that's the case, you mark here. And this other one, child was adopted, not an orphan, then you will mark right here. But this section is only if you are filing the petition for your child or your parent, okay? But in this example is for the spouse. Okay. Number 3, if the beneficiary is your brother or sister, are you related by adoption? And if that's the case, you're gonna say yes. But if it's not the case, you're gonna say no. Okay? Number 4, did you gain lawful permanent resident status or citizenship through adoption? They're asking that about us, the petitioner, okay? So in that case, I didn't get that through the adoption. That's not my case, so I say no. And here in the number 3, so this one doesn't also, it is not applied to me either, so because I'm not filing this for brother or sister, so I say no also. Okay, and then right here in part 2, information about you, petitioner. So this is ours. I mean, this is me. Our section. Number 1, alien registration number. This is an A number that is gonna be in your green card, and you're gonna type it right there. Number 2, USCIS online account number, if any. In this case, I don't have any number, so I always like to say NA if it doesn't apply. Number 3, social security number, if any. I do have a social security number. I write it right there. Your full name. They want my name, the petitioner's name. Okay? So 4A, last name. They want my last name. Oh my goodness, hold on. Okay, first name. Middle name. I don't have a middle name, so I leave it in blank. If you have one, write it down here. Okay, part 2, information about you, petitioner, continue. So that's me still. So they want to know if I use any other names in the past. So they want us to list all the names we have used. So like in my case, I use another last name before because I was married. I had a previous marriage. So, and this is my new marriage. So I'm going to write down the last name that I had before from my previous husband. Okay. Okay, so that is the last name. And the first name, my first name is still the same. Middle name, I don't have one, so that's stays blank. Okay. Continue. Other information. Number 6. City, town, village of birth. They want to know where I was born. And I was born in a city called Celaya. Country of birth. The country is Mexico. I born in Mexico. Number 8. Date of birth. They want to know when I was born, the date. Okay, so it's month, day, and year. Okay, so it's gonna be 5 5 1965. That's not my real birthday, but I have to, put a fake one. Okay. So number 9, sex. Male. If you are a male, you mark right here. If you're a female, you mark right here. Mailing address. They want to know what's my mailing address, the petitioner mailing address. And the 10A, you're going to leave it in blank. Okay, and then in the T and the B and the 10B, I'm going to write down my street number and name. So, okay, and this is number 10C. If you live in an apartment, you mark right there, or in a suite, or in a floor. And then in here, you're going to mark, like, if you live in an apartment, you're going to put the apartment number. I don't know. It's like if you live like in apartment B1 or whatever is the case. But in my case, I live in a house, so I just leave it like that. The 10D, city or town. Okay, and this is going to be in Roner Park. The 10E, state, and this is gonna be in California. 10F, zip code 94959. No, it's 94928. Okay, and the 10G, we're gonna leave it in blank because this is in case the address is outside of United States. Country, this is in USA. And then number 11, they want to know if this mailing address is the same as my physical address, the place where I live. Yes, this is the same address, is where the place where I stay, I live, I sleep. But if your address is not the same as the mailing address, provide information on your physical address in item number 12A to 13B if it's different. That part would be right here. Okay, and here it says if provide your physical address for the last 5 years, whether inside or outside of the United States. Provide your current address first. If it is different from your mailing address in item number 10A and to 10I. Okay, and this section right here, if it's different from your mailing address, this is our mailing address, and we already wrote it down here. If you don't live in the same address as your mailing address, you have to write your physical address right here. And in here, number 12A, if it's different, you have to say where the number and the street name. And 12B, if it's an apartment or a suite or a floor, and then write here what's if it has a number, a letter, or whatever. And 12C, what city is this physical address at? So let's say it's the same, Roner Park. In what state? If this is in US, let's say it's in California, and the zip code. And here in 12F, we leave it in blank. 12G, we leave it in blank. And 12H, we say it's in the USA. This is only if the address is different as your mailing address, remember, okay? In my case, it's the same. So, this does not apply to me because my address is the same as my mailing address. So, I leave it in blank. Okay, and you can write like NA, not apply. That's what I do in all the blank spaces. Write down NA. That way they know that you went through all the application, okay? So in all of them, just write down that. What country is this address? In case you selected, we say USA, but this does not apply to me either. Continue. 13A, date, from, and they want to know from what year to what year you live in this address. So I'm gonna say that I live in that address since, let's say, October 2nd 2005. And then, of course, it's not gonna let you print anything here because remember we said that this space is for the address that you are living in the present. So what I do is not letting me do anything. So when I print out the papers, I just type in present. Okay? And then physical address number 2. In case you don't have enough years living in this address, you will have to enter a second address to complete the 5 years that they require. Okay? If you have not enough years, so you want to use this other space right here and type in the other address, okay? Just to finish up the 5 years they require. Okay? And the same, you do the same as we did over here. And the dates from what year to what year, and then you move on. They want to know if we are married. Number 16, how many times have you been married? They are asking us how many husbands or wives we have had. So I've been married 2 times. So I'm gonna say 2. 17, current marital status. They want to know if we are single, if we never married, or if we are married, or divorced, or widowed, or separate, or is we got married and the marriage was annulled. So in this case, I'm married because I'm filing this petition for my husband. Okay, part 2. Information about you. Petitioner continue. Number 18. They want to know the month, day, and year of my current marriage. Let's say I got married on July 14, 2000 and let's say 2015. Let's say I got married in that date. Place of my marriage. Continue. Information about me, the petitioner. So the city, number 19A, city or town. And the city where I got married was Celaya. State, remember this is only for USA cities, states. So I'm gonna use this one right here. So it's gonna be GTO, which means Guanajuato. This is abbreviation for the state. And the country is Mexico. Okay. Names of all my spouses, if any. Only if any, okay? If you don't have like previous ones, don't do nothing, only the first one. Okay? Provide information on your current spouse if currently married. First, and then list all your prior spouses, if any. Spouse number 1. What's the last name? My husband's last name is, his first name, let's say, is, I don't know, that. Number 20C, middle name, he doesn't have one. Remember to write that down, okay? And of course, this is my present married. So when you print it out, type in present. Oh, it's gonna let me. Perfect. Okay. Because they want to know here 21 date marriage ended, and this is my present marriage, so I still married and this we still together. And then in here spouse number 2, they want to know information about my ex-husband, his last name, his first name, middle name, he doesn't have one, leave it in blank. And then they are asking me about the date this marriage ended. So let's say that this marriage ended on 1998, let's say. Sorry. Okay. And then information about your parents. This is information about my parents, my mom, my dad. Okay, first parent. I'm gonna write down my dad's information. Last name. And here his last name is Rodriguez. Oops. Sorry about that. His first name, it's let's say his first name is Jose. Middle name, he doesn't have one. His birthday, let's say he was born on 4/6/1945. And he's a male. And continue right here. Number 27. He was born in Mexico, the country Mexico. Number 28. In which city, village of residence? He lives right now. He lives in Celaya. And the country, and number 29, it's Mexico. Okay. Oops. Oh, well. Parent number 2. Now I'm gonna write down my mom's information. And here is her last name, her first name, middle name, she doesn't have one. Birthday, we're gonna say that she was born on May 11, 19. What would be a good day? Let's see, when was my dad born? 1945. And number 32, she's a female. Number 33, country of birth. She was born in Mexico. Number 34, in what city, town, village of residence? Well, they want to know where she lives right now, and she's living in Mexico. Well, actually, they are asking the city where she lives. So she's living in Celaya. And then which country, and here goes the country, number 35, we say the country of Mexico. Okay. And they want more information about us right here. And number 36, we have to select one of those two, only one. If you are a U.S. citizen, you mark right here. Or if you are a lawful permanent resident, you mark right there. In this case, I'm going to leave it there because I'm a resident. But if you are a citizen, complete item number 37, which is this one right here. If you are a U.S. citizen only. But I'm not a citizen, I'm a resident, so I'm not going to complete this section. But if you mark that you are a citizen, you mark right here, and then you have to pick one of these. Okay, they want to know how you got your citizenship. It was by birth in the United States, you mark right here. Or it was through naturalization, you mark right here. Or by parents, you mark right here. But in this case, I'm not a U.S. citizen, I'm a permanent resident. I mark right there and leave this in blank. Number 38. And here, have you obtained a certificate of naturalization or a certificate of citizenship? And if you have that, if you mark that you are a U.S. citizen or through naturalization, through the parents, whatever you mark over here, so you have to answer here. And, you obtain this certificate, of course it's gonna be yes, right? But in this case, I'm a resident, I'm gonna say no. Okay, continue. In this section, you are going to write down the certificate you obtained and the certificate number, and this is gonna be in the paper they gave you. And 39B, the place where they give it to you, the USCIS office that give you this paper, and you're gonna write it down here. What's the name of the agency that give it to you? And the 39C, the date they give it to you, month, day, and year, and write it here. In this section, it's about petitioner, about us. If we are permanent residents, we are going to complete number 40A and 41. 40A, class of admission. And these numbers are going to be in your green card under the section category. And there's gonna be 2 letters and 1 number. So you look for that in your green card and type it right there. We're gonna leave this in blank, this blank, this blank, and we go right here to 41. Okay, 41. They wanna know if did you gain lawful permanent resident status through marriage to a U.S. citizen or lawful permanent resident? If we got our permanent resident card through marriage, in my case, I'm gonna say yes. my ex-husband filed an application for me and I got the permanent residency through marriage. So I say yes. But if you didn't, you say no. Okay? Okay. Employment history. Provide your employment history for the last 5 years, whether inside or outside of the United States. Provide your current employment first. If you are currently unemployed, type or print unemployed in item number 42, which is here. If you don't have a job, if you don't work, you're gonna type that in here. Just type okay. If you are not working, type that in there. But in my case, I do work, so I'm gonna type in employer or company's name. Let's see, I work in a kitchen. Let me make one up. Well, let's say I work in Taco Bell. Okay, and the address of that restaurant is, just making that up, city, state, California, zip code. This, we leave it in blank, we leave this in blank, and country, this is in USA. What's my occupation in that restaurant? I'm a cook. 45A, when I start working in this place. Let's say I start working in January 22nd, 1999. And then let's see, day from to. So this is my present job. I've been working there forever, so it's not letting me print anything, but when I print the pages, I'm gonna type present. But if you start working in a place, you know the date from, you write it here, and then if you don't work there anymore, you type in here until what date you work in this place. And then you want to move on. And if you have another job, because remember, you have to complete 5 years employment history, okay? In my case, I have way more than 5 years in this one, so I don't have to write any more information about other jobs, because that covers the 5 years. But if in your case that doesn't cover, you want to use this other space to provide the other job, okay? But remember something very important. Let me tell you. In this section, it always gonna be the present job. This is my present job. That's what I type it in here first. Okay? You have to do it this way. They want to know the present job and then the past jobs you had. Okay? If you have any other job in the past to cover the 5 years, you put all the information here. Okay? So that's not applied to me because I already covered the 5 years, so I leave that in blank. Okay, part 3. Biographic information. Provide the biographic information about you, the petitioner, so that's me. And select one box. I'm Hispanic or Latina. Not Hispanic or Latina. I'm gonna mark this one right here. Number 2, race. Select all applicable boxes. So I'm just gonna do that one. Okay. Number 3, they want to know your height, how tall you are. So I'm gonna say I'm 5 feet. 5 feet and 2 inches. And number 4, they want to know how much we weigh. So I'm gonna say that my weight is 150 pounds. Number 5, they want to know what eye color we have. And my color is brown. But they give you more options. You know, black, gray, maroon, blue. Oops, that's not blue, okay? This is the blue. Green, pink, brown, hazel, unknown, or other. And you select one. Part 3. Biographic information continue. Number 6. Hair color. Select only one box. This one is if you don't have any hair. Brown, sandy, black, gray, white, blonde, red, unknown, or other. In my case, I have black hair. Part 4. Information about beneficiary. This is my husband. Number 1, alien registration number. He doesn't have one. So I'm gonna say that NA, that's not applied to him. And he doesn't have this one either. He doesn't have a USCIS online account number. And of course, he doesn't have a social security number. But if he does, if your husband or wife has a social security number, even, because back then they gave them social security numbers to people without documents. And that was my case when I was visiting so many years ago. I was visiting here, USA, and I was just like a visitor. And they gave me one. So I had one, even though I didn't have any legal documents to work here in USA. So if that's your case, you put it right here. But in this case, my husband doesn't have one. Beneficiary's full name. So this is my husband's information. Okay? His last name, Garcia is his last name. Jesus is his first name. Middle name, he doesn't have one. Other names used, if any. If your husband or wife used different last names or names before, you have to write it right here. My husband hasn't used any other names, so I leave that in blank. Other information about beneficiary. This is my husband. Number 6, city, town, village of birth. So he was born in Celaya, that's the town. Country, Mexico. And they are asking when he was born, month, day, and year. Let's say he was born in December 22nd, 1965. And he's a male. Number 10, has anyone else ever filed a petition for the beneficiary? They are asking if anybody filed a petition for my husband before. No. In this case, no. Never. And I will mark here. But if someone already filed a petition, before for your husband or wife, you say yes. Or if you don't know, so you mark over here. But in this case, I know that no one submitted an application for him, so I say no. Okay. Beneficiary's physical address. They want my husband's information, where he's living right now. So the number and the street, and if it's an apartment or a suite or a floor, and we write down here the other information of this. But in this case, that's a house, so I leave this in blank. 11C, city or town. This is in Celaya. State, we are gonna leave this in blank because remember this is only for the USA address. We go 11F, and this is going to be the state. This is the abbreviation for Guanajuato. And the postal code, which is, that's the postal code. 11H, this is the country. Where is the country? This is Mexico. He lives in Mexico. Other address and contact information. Provide the address in the U.S. where the beneficiary intends to live, if different from the item number 11A through 11H. If addresses is the same, type or print same in item number 12A, which is here. If the address where your relative, the one you are applying for, lives in the same address where the address that you typing up here is the same as the address that he is living in or intending to live, so you're gonna mark same and leave everything blank. But if it's different, like in my husband's case, it's gonna be different because he lives in Mexico, I live in USA, so it's, of course it's different. So I have to type in the new address where he is going to live when he comes to the United States. Okay? Oops, the address would be that, and in city of state, and this is in US, California. Zip code. Okay. This is the address that my husband is gonna be living when he comes to the United States. Okay? And these provide the beneficiary's address outside of the United States if different from the item number 11A to 11H. If the address is the same, type or print same in item number 13A. Something that I forgot to mention about this section right here. And they said that if the beneficiary lives outside of the United States in a home without a street number or name, leave item numbers 11A and 11B blank. 11A and 11B blank. So we wouldn't write anything in these two numbers in case, and you know, if that's the case. Okay, so we move on, and I'm going to type same because he lives in the same address that the one I type up there is the same, would be the same information here. So I just put same and leave everything else in blank. And then here, number 14, the daytime telephone number. They're asking about my husband's phone number, if there is any. And you type it right there. And right here, part 4, information about beneficiary. Continue. Number 15, mobile telephone number, if any. And he does have one. So you type it right there. And number 16, email address, if any. If you don't have one email address, I will recommend you to make one. It's very, very easy. But in these cases, it's very important that you have one email. So I recommend you to make one, okay? Number 16, the email. I'm just making one up, okay? Yes. There we go. Okay, but I mean, if he doesn't have one, or your relative doesn't have one, you can also leave that in blank, okay? You don't have to have one, but I'm just recommending you. Okay. Okay, the beneficiary's marital status information. Number 17, how many times has the beneficiary been married? This is about my husband. So this is his first marriage, so which is me. So I'm the only wife. So I say just put the number 1. But if your husband or wife is being married more than one, just type in the number, okay? But in this case, it's only me. Number 18, current marital status. Of course, he's married with me. 19, date of current marriage, if currently married. They want to know when we got married. Okay, that's the date when we got married. Okay, place of beneficiary's current marriage, if married. Okay, so the city we got married in Celaya. 20C, Guanajuato, and 20D, Mexico. That's the country. Okay, names of beneficiaries' spouses, if any. And we're going to type all the information about the spouses, you know, the other wives or husbands that he or she had in the past. Okay? Provide information on the beneficiary's current spouse, if current married, first, and then list all the beneficiaries' prior spouses, if any. So in here is gonna be first my information. That's my last name, my first name. I don't have middle name, I leave it in blank. And then in here 22, the
Hey there.
And then number 22, date marriage ended. So I'm still with him. So I type in that. Okay, let's continue. Spouse number 2. If he or she have more wives or husbands before you, you type in their information right here. 23A would be the last name, 23B would be the first name, 23C would be the middle name. But in my case, I'm the only wife, so I leave that in blank. Okay. And that's for the information about beneficiary family. Provide information about the beneficiary's spouse and children. And right here, person number 1, I'm gonna type in my name, my full name, which is my last name first, and then my first name, and I don't have middle name. And then they want to know what is the relationship, you know, between us. So I'm his wife. And date of birth, they want to know my birthday. So it would be 5 1965. 1965. That's my date of birth. Country of birth, I will say Mexico. Person 2. Family name, we have one kid in common. And I'm gonna type in the last name, and here our son's name right here. No middle name, he doesn't have one. And here, what's the relationship to my husband? He is his son, and this is gonna be his birthday. And where was he born? He was born in USA. Person number 3. This is gonna be if my husband have more kids with a different lady with different marriage. So in this case, I'm gonna just show you, like, if he has one kid that is not my kid but is his kid, we're gonna write down the information of that kid also, because it's part of his family. And here is gonna be his last name, his first name, and what's the relationship to my husband. This is his son, and this is gonna be the date of birth of his son, and he was born in Mexico. This is just in case he have more kids. If he doesn't have more kids, just leave this in blank. That space. Okay, and they give us more. They give us 5 spaces for family members. Okay. Beneficiaries entry information. 45. Was the beneficiary ever in the United States? In this case, my husband never lived in United States or never came here. So I will say no. But if your husband or wife, they came to US before, you are going to say yes. Okay? And then if you mark yes, they're gonna ask you here, if the beneficiary is currently in the United States, complete items numbers 46A and 46D. Let's see, 46A, he or she arrives as a class in admission. This is only if they enter US legally, like with like a permit to visit or something like that. So I'm going to say no because he's never been here. And all these stays blank. All these states blank, 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 blank. Beneficiaries' employment information. They want to know all the jobs that my husband have or had. Provide the beneficiary's current employment information if applicable, even if they are employed outside of the United States. If the beneficiary is currently unemployed, type or print unemployed in the item number 51A, which is this one. So if your husband or wife is not working right now, you are going to type unemployed right here. Okay? Oh, I'm sorry, I put an extra letter right there. Oops. Unemployed. Okay? But in this case, he works. But he works for a restaurant. In the address, in Celaya. This is 51. This would be the number and street name. This is not apply. And 51D would be the city or town. This is the city. This goes blank. This would be 51G would be Guanajuato is the state. And the postal code would be that will be the postal code. And country would be Mexico. And right here, 52, date, employment began, since when he started working in this restaurant. And I will say he's been working there since that date. Additional information about beneficiary, which is my husband. 53. Was the beneficiary ever in immigration proceedings? That means if he had any problems or with immigration. In this case, my husband never. But if your relative had, you mark yes. And 54 says if you answer yes, select the type of proceedings and provide the location and date of the proceeding, and explain what kind of situation was he involved. Removal, rescission, exclusion or deportation, or other judicial proceedings. And you're gonna type in here the city or town, the state, and the date, month, day, and year of this situation. But in this case, I say no, because he hasn't even intent to come. Part 4. Information about beneficiary continue. This is still my husband's information. If the beneficiary's native writing language does not use Roman letters, type or print his or her name and foreign address in their native writing language. This space right here, pretty much you're gonna use it for people that lives in a different country that they don't have, the letters we have here in USA, which, China or places like that. So this does not apply to me. So pretty much all the time, this probably is gonna be empty. Okay. If filing for your spouse, provide the last address at which you physically live together. If you never live together, type or print never live together. And item number 59A, which is this one. Okay. So if our wife or husband live with us, we're gonna type in the present address. Well, the last address, I'm sorry. The last address where we physically live together. And you're gonna 59A, street number and name right here. In case you live in an apartment, in a suite, or in a floor. And then you type in the rest of the address here. And 59C would be city or town, and right here. 59D, state, and zip code. Or in here you're gonna type in if you lived together last time in another country. Okay, so I haven't lived together with my husband. So I'm gonna type in never live together. Okay. There we go. And all this is, I'm gonna leave it blank. Okay. Okay. The beneficiary is in the United States and will apply for adjustment of status to that of a lawful permanent resident at the United States Citizenship and Immigration Service USCIS office, and right here is just in case that your husband or wife is living already in USA. You are and is gonna and is going to do the adjustment of status. So you wanna type in here the office where this person, your relative, is going to apply. So let's say that if my husband is here and he's gonna do the adjustment of status, let's say the USCIS office in San Francisco, and the state would be California. Okay, but in this case my husband is not going to do that. He is living currently in Mexico, so this does not apply to us. Leave it in blank. Okay, the beneficiary will not apply for adjustment of status in the United States, but he or she will apply for an immigrant visa abroad at the U.S. Embassy or U.S. Consulate in, and this would be my husband's case, 62A city or town. He is going to go to Ciudad Juarez, and the 62B would be Chihuahua. 62C would be Mexico, the country. This is the office that he's going to go to obtain his green card. Okay. Note: choosing a U.S. Embassy or U.S. Consulate outside the country of the beneficiary's last residence does not guarantee that is will accept the beneficiary's case for processing. In this situation, the designated U.S. Embassy or U.S. Consulate has discretion over whether or not to accept the beneficiary's case. Okay, continue. Part 5, other information. Number 1, have you ever previously filed a petition for this beneficiary or any other alien? They're asking me that if I have ever filed an application for him, for my husband, or for another relative. In my case is no. This is the first time I apply for my husband, and I never apply for anybody else, so I say no. But if you answer yes, you want to mark here, and then you want to provide the name, place, date of filing, and the results, okay, in this section right here. But I'm not going to mark yes, because in my case it's no. And they give you another space. And then if you are also submitting separate petition for other relatives, provide the names, of and your relationship to each relative. So relative number 1, 6A. If you are filing more petitions for other people, other, I don't know, son, daughter, mother, father, sister, brother, separate, and so you're gonna type in the information here, like last name here, first name right here, middle name, and relationship to you, which is to me. So I'm gonna leave this in blank because I'm not filing any more applications for anybody, and I just leave it blank. Okay, part 5, other information, continue, and they give you, relative number 2, and the same, you put the information in case this apply to your case. Part 6, petitioner's statements, contact information, declaration, and signature. Okay, and here pretty much we are going to, like, if you are doing this application by yourself, nobody else is helping you, you are not using a preparer or a translator, you are the only one doing it, reading, writing, and everything, you're gonna mark right here. I can read and understand English, and I have read and I understand every question and instruction on this application and my answer to every question. So you mark right there, and that's it. You wanna leave this in blank because you are not using any interpreter, nothing. So that stays like that. And here, petitioner's contact information. Number 3, they want our phone number, my phone number. I'm the petitioner. So, and then number 4, petitioner's mobile number, if any. Oops. Oh, too many numbers. Okay. And then my email address. I'm going to write it down here. Okay. Continue. We have to read all this. Petitioners, declarations, and certifications. So after reading all that, we are going to sign petitioner's signature and the number 6A. We have to sign right here. Okay? Don't forget, right here, okay? Okay. It's not going to let you print anything in the computer because you have to do it by hand and use a black ink to sign this petition. If you forget to sign the petition, they won't accept the application. So you have to make sure to sign it and also to date it. You have to date it here, month, day, and year. Okay? Note to all petitioners, if you do not completely fill out this petition or fail to submit requirement documents listed in the instructions, USCIS may deny your petition. So you have to make sure to fill out all this application, and also there is gonna be more documents you are going to be sending with this petition, but I'm going to do another tutorial about how to fill out more forms that goes with this petition. Okay. Part 7, interpreters, contact information, certification, and signature. Pretty much all this is gonna stay blank because I'm not using any interpreters, I'm not using anybody, I'm doing it by myself. So all this goes blank. Interpreters, blank, 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 all this blank, nobody signing, nobody nothing. So all this blank. And here also is about person preparing this form. So I'm preparing it. Nobody is preparing it for me. So I'm gonna leave it in blank, okay? Prepare in signature, no. Nobody is helping me. So that stays blank. And this last page, part 9, additional information. If you want to talk about one specific area of this application, they give us few spaces here so you can explain, give an extra explanation about whatever you want to say. And here you want to type your name, which is my name, my last name, my first name, my middle name, and my A number, the one in the green card. And then you want to put here the page number, part number, and item number. And right here you want to explain whatever you want to explain about this application. And these numbers, you're going to find them in the application depending on which page you want to talk about. Let's give you an example. You want to talk about, let's see, you want to talk about page A. You see, page number 8, part 5, item 1. So these numbers you're going to write it down in the little squares down there, 8, 5, and 1. So we go all the way back. Okay, and then you want to type page number 8, part number 5, item number 1. And then this way they know exactly what area of the application to look. And you want to explain whatever you're going to explain about this area, specific area, and you type over here. If you need extra space, they give us more space so you can, write down more information about some other pages, numbers. And that's it, friends. As you see, it's very simple. To tell you the truth, you can do it yourself. You don't need anybody to do this application. It's very simple. Very, very simple. And I'm gonna give you a recommendation up here. Always look for this information. Make sure the form is current, that it hasn't expired, okay? Because they update these forms, and sometimes if you fill out an application that the date is already passed and they have a new version, they probably won't accept it. So you have to make sure to look for this information right here. And if you have any questions about this form, please leave your message down there, and